Alright everyone, welcome back to week 3, day 1 or day 8, whatever you want to call it. We are back and it's going to be a bit tougher again this time. So today these exercises are starting to look a little bit more what you would find your avid athletes doing. So we're going to start off with our squats again, but today we're going to be doing some loaded squats. So we're going to have a backpack or whatever you have at home, just a little bit of weight on top. Most of these will have backpacks. So, excuse me, we're going to take our backpack, again, just like last week, put it around our shoulders. Now, you can put whatever you like in here. So whether that's books, you can put weights in there, you can put drink bottles, whatever you've got, just chuck them in there. So again, the main difference with having a bit of weight on your back is if it's really heavy, it's going to tilt you forward. And our goal is to try and maintain a fairly straight spine throughout the movement without, falling forward or back too much. So holding on to our straps again so the weight and the backpack doesn't shift around. Feet slightly wider than shoulder width. What we're going to do, just like we have the last few weeks, we're going to come, sit down, like so. Now some of you actually might find it a bit easier to sit down with a bit of weight on your back because it's forcing you down into that position for you tighter muscled people. So again, feet slightly wider than shoulder width, holding on, coming down, coming back up. So make that as heavy as you feel comfortable. We need you to complete 3 sets of 8 to 12. So if you're doing 12 reps, it's going to be a bit lighter. If you're doing 8, it's going to be a little bit heavier. So don't be afraid to push yourself on that exercise. Now, our next exercise is some couch bridges. So, or sometimes these will be called hip thrusts in a gym, but we're trying to do this so you can do everything at home. So I'm going to use a bench here, but at home you can use a couch. So a couch will obviously be fairly heavy. Now don't tell mum and dad, but it might need to be pushed up against the wall a little bit, or if it's really heavy, you won't need to do that. So the couch is just mainly there to rest our shoulders or our back on. So by adding this bench or the couch, we're just going to be increasing the range of motion and the work that your hips need to do to push you up. So I often start on the bench with my sort of elbows up on there. So you're kind of going to be resting this on the mid to upper back. So there's probably a Boost logo on the back here. That's where you're roughly going to be resting on the couch. So again, if you probably find, depending on the couch, some might be higher or lower. Just try and find one that's right for you. If you don't have that, you can always do something a little bit smaller on like a step or whatever it needs to be, all right? Just something that you can rest up a little bit higher on. So as you can see, we're resting here. Got our heels on the ground. Now what we want to do is we want to shoot our hips up like so without overarching our back at the top. So coming down, sitting, depending on the height and the height of this, you might be able to get your butt back on the ground or you might not be able to. So I can't here, so I'm coming up, squeezing, I'm not overdoing it, down, up, hold for a couple seconds, down nice and slow. We want to make sure that our knees aren't caving in. In fact, you probably want them pushing out this way more than anything. So down, up, like so, all right? That one might be a little bit tricky, so if you have any questions, make sure you ask us, and one of us will be able to help you. All right, let's get that out of the way. So our next exercise is just some calf raises off a step. So similar thing, we're just increasing the range of motion. So you're going to take a step or a step at home, whatever it is. So if you've got stairs at home, as long as you've got something to hold on, you can hold on to the sides or If you've got a portable step like this at home, you can put your hands on the wall. You can see plenty of hand marks here. So what we want to do is we want our toes or the balls of our feet resting on the edge of the step, like so. And what we want to do is we want to let our heels drop down as low as we can. Alright, so you're going to be feeling a nice stretch through the back. As we're coming up, we want to be pressing through our big toe, squeezing our calves, holding for 3 to 5 seconds, then coming back down nice and slow. And as we're coming down, again, I don't want you to come back up until you feel that really nice stretch down the back of your calf, and then you can slowly push back up again, alright? So pretty straightforward, making sure we don't do this kind of business. We want to be pushing through our big toes. Sometimes people don't go all the way down as well. We just want to make sure as well that you're not doing this sort of thing. It needs to be nice and controlled, okay? So that's your calf raises off a step. Down there. Alright, so now I've got some broad jumps. So a broad jump's a little bit different to what we have been doing. Now I don't have a whole heap of space in here, so it's going to be a bit hard to demonstrate, but you guys will get the idea of this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start here. A broad jump is just about jumping for length rather than height. So let's just imagine I want to try and jump as far as I can. I'm going to bend my knees, swing my arms back, and then I'm going to jump forward. So I'm going to go forwards, just like that. That's a broad jump. At home, try and find a really nice long hallway or go outside. And so you want to string those together. So they're a little bit easier to string together than you tuck jump. So again, just for purposes, I'll go short here. So we're going to go, so you're almost hopping along in a straight line, but you're going as far as you can. Okay, so make sure they're big jumps. Any questions, let us know. Alright, now, last but not least, we're going to do some balancing. So we've got single leg balance, pretty straightforward. You're going to be doing this for 30 seconds. So just going to be picking one foot, standing. Now, I like to pick something out that's not moving, but as you can see, this is working our intrinsic foot muscles. If you want to put your arms out, you're more than welcome to do that. So this just builds a bit of hip stability and foot stability. So as you guys know, when you're playing, doing any sort of running or playing netball or basketball, you're often on one foot, particularly for the netballers. You land kind of on one foot, and you're often trying to pass off one foot. So balancing, 3 sets, 30 seconds, pretty straightforward. So that's it for today. I'll see you in the next one, alright? Thanks guys.